All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a 2v2 matchup here on Tidewater Glades. I can at least watch it live instead of YouTube. Thank you for CaSpeND. You are very welcome. For all of you guys who are watching on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. For Wild Striker, thank you for tuning in here on Twitch as we go into a 2v2 matchup here on Tidewater Glades. Not quite sure why the overlay is not showing as we see FJRock and CaSpeND going up against DayOftheDeAd and Nezuko. Their names are not officially that, but that's what I'll be calling them as well. That's the names that are listed here. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. It is a Night Elf Orc matchup going up against an Undead Orc, so no humans in this matchup here. Night Elf and Undead being the off races in this particular matchup here as the Orc is being shared, and we'll see what strategies will be laid out for us. Gonna go ahead and speed things up to the 2-minute mark, see what the strategies are gonna be. It is looking like a Blade Master, and what is this? It looks as though it is a Tavern Hero. No, this is a delayed Crypt Fiend opening, perhaps. Meanwhile, let's take a look back down across here. It is going to be a delayed hero coming in from DayOftheDeAd. This is a little bit interesting as the Farseer should be able to start, or excuse me, the Headhunter should be able to be trained up pretty easily, and it is going to be Tauren Chieftain dual barracks mass Headhunters. And when you see dual barracks, you know it's going to be mass headhunters, and it's going to be a significant delay into berserkers. Are we looking at True Shot or no? Keeper of the Grove. So it is going to be Entangle for harassment, and the synergy and the strategies lining things up look as though it's going to be some sort of tower attempt coming in from coming up against FJRock. As you can see, a large number of Wisp already hiding off on the side here. Keeper of the Grove running out across. Blade Master using a scroll of speed in order to get past things very, very quickly, making its way down already. What is he doing down at this end? Going after the Dark Troll Berserker instead. All right, very aggressive creating pattern card coming back already as we're looking at the Dark Troll Berserker attempting to get taken down here. Keeper of the Grove now making his rounds, perhaps going to try and put in some pressure. There is an Entangle onto one Peon already. That Peon is going to easily get taken down here. A couple of more shots. We are looking at the Orc Burrow actually delaying Lumber quite a bit as the Keeper of the Grove looks to back away. Still Wisp off to the side here as the Blade Master now perhaps running all the way back does pick up a Crystal Ball as we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove now entangling and going after this Grunt here. Grunt is going to take quite a bit of damage and could actually get taken down. I think that Entangle was just a little bit too early, actually, as the Grunt should be able to escape around 100 hit points there. There it goes down to 190 as we see another Entangle go down here. Keeper of the Grove looking to finish off a Grunt here. That is going to be some major damage and finishing off that Grunt. Oh, a beautiful denial by the Orc player there. Meanwhile, Wisp are now making their way around the corner. Perhaps we are going to be looking at some sort of tower attempt as well, as he's purposely pulling aggro away from all of the action. Keeper of the Grove going to get taken down. There it goes. But that Grunt was lost, and because that one Grunt was lost, they may not spot out all of these Ancient Protectors that are being built off to the side. Meanwhile, down to the south here, double Headhunter barracks, or dual racks barracks now coming in here, and FJRock just says, hey, there's two barracks coming in here, and we are now looking at the Grunt who is perhaps going to spot these Ancient Protectors and then now be quite alarmed. Death Knight coming across with the Death Coil already onto that Crypt Fiend absorbing quite a bit of damage. Meanwhile, the Grunts say, wait a second, what are all of these trees being built off over here? They'll be able to stop one, maybe two, but there is 4 being constructed here, and that is going to be quite amount of damage to try and offset. Blade Master now coming across over. It looks as though the front leading one should end up getting canceled, but the 2 behind are going to end up being completed here in just a moment as they're acting as a bit of a wall. And come on, are we going to see the Ancient Protector getting canceled? There is one cancellation right there as we're now looking at the other 2, and now more Mass Wisp coming in for the repairs. All right, repairs, fortified armor, very difficult to take out as we're looking at all of those Grunts taking in so much damage. All right, Grunt coming in with a big stomp right there is going to finish off one more Grunt there. One more shot needed. Yes, it does. Taking down 2 Grunts in position, and now mass Headhunters are coming into position here. All right, in comes the damage. Death Coil across some of those units as we're looking at the Blade Master getting up to level 2, Entangle going down onto the Crypt Fiend, and this is a 2v2 fight already. Level 2 Tauren Chieftain coming in with a big stomp right there. finishing down another Crypt Fiend as the Ancient Protectors are slowly walking their way over. All right, Ancient Protectors are rooting themselves into position. Great play so far as the Keeper of the Grove absorbing a large amount of damage. Blade Master unable to fit or able to finish away as the Windwalk is enough right there. Tauren Chieftain trying to get into position once more, trying to add up a little bit of damage as the Huntresses perhaps should really be backing up here, going up against all these Crypt Fiends and all of that focused fire damage. Meanwhile, Ancient Protector is in position, moving its way over. They need to get closer to those buildings and start putting pressure onto the buildings as well. As you can see, the Blade Master is absorbing a little bit of too much damage once again. All right, looking at a Grunt going after a Headhunter. Meanwhile, more damage going after the Blade Master. Blade Master down to 40 hit points, and he's able to escape. No dust of appearance. A little bit of a misstep there as we're looking at damage coming back across here. All right, level 3 now on the Death Knight. Death Knight it should be able to get off some additional death coils to save some of those Crypt Fiends, but the Ancient Protectors are already rooting themselves up pretty much right next to the base and now ready to go at it. All right, in comes the engagement here. The Orc Burrow able to put in a lot of damage, and the Blade Master could get taken down. Potion of Healing just in time as the stun did not last long enough. Continuing this engagement here, massive repairs as a 4th Ancient Protector still trying to get added up here once more. Death Knight has a Potion of Mana. We are at tier 2, so the Voodoo Lounge does represent a big home field advantage with all of those healing bits right there. Meanwhile, a Headhunter now looking to retreat back, trying to purposely stay back here as we see some repairs getting underway. No fortified armor. Warmill not trying to repair that or build that whatsoever, as that Orc Burrow, that forward Orc Burrow could get taken out. Lightning Shield now coming down across the Wisp there, getting in a little bit of additional bonus damage as that Orc Burrow does get taken down, and a new Moonwell being placed down as well. Healing salves galore as the Shadow Hunter trying to get its way back out, but getting stuck by a Huntress, perfectly shadow melded Huntress, blocking the door and making it difficult to make its way back out as the Huntress finally gets revealed here. Huntress still revealing its position here, or holding its position here to try to hold the door as we're looking at more damage adding in. Meanwhile, the Demolisher is actually caught out on the wrong side of the barracks, and it's going to get caught up against the position here as FJRock loses that first Demolisher that he tried to build. Meanwhile, more damage still racking up through here. Triple Ancient Protector pushing across against this side here. All of damage, all of the focus coming across into this location as we're looking at massive repairs still underway for the Wisps. All right, Crypt Fiends able to push into a little bit of a position here. Blade Master now trying to reach their way back. The Wisp are just on massive repair duty, trying to keep things alive as we're looking at, well, what is this? A Lightning Shield from a Wisp actually dealing enough damage to finish off another one of his fellow brethren. I guess it's brethren. I don't know if you have brothers or sisters if you are a Wisp, as we see Ancient Protectors now in a little bit of trouble here. More repairs are going to be underway. They are on massive auto repair duty, trying to keep all of these things alive as we're looking at the main stronghold about to fall here. More damage coming back across. Keeper of the Grove still only sitting at level 1 after all this time, as he has not really been able to gain any true experience, as a lot of the damage is done by the Ancient Protectors. Keeper of the Grove still keeping a little bit of distance back. No Voodoo Lounge being built here, interestingly enough, as that would give a big home field advantage as well. Peon, that one Peon trying to escape away, is it going to get taken down? No, yes it will. It's not going to be able to escape, as there goes a lot of FJRock's chances of trying to rebuild. FJRock perhaps going to start funneling gold to his partner there. He does want to save a Peon or two if possible, as another Death Coil finishes off a Headhunter once more. This is pretty much an all-in tactic here as we see Lightning Shield going down onto a Headhunter as this crazy battle is still getting underway. Crypt Fiend, well, it looks like it's going to end up getting entangled, get taken down. Keeper of the Grove still sitting only at level 1, as we're still looking at more and more engagement here. Tauren Chieftain now looking to back away. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 2, low on hit points, as another low hit point Headhunter going to get taken down in the back by those Crypt Fiends. Blade Master leading the charge here. What is it doing? Down to 94, 84 hit points. One more shot would have taken it down, as you see all of those trailing missiles try to take down that Ancient Protector once more. All right, massive repairs on the Wisp, fortified armor on the Orc Burrows, now allowing for, well, a bit of repair or a bit of durability against all of these Ancient Protector boulders. And remember, in days of old, the Ancient Protectors, those boulders actually did siege damage, but that just invited play like this to try and take down all of these buildings here. All right, one Obsidian Statue coming in from CaSpeND, able to heal up much of this army. Keeper the Blade Master going to be in a lot of trouble, down to 59 hit points. The Entangle didn't last long enough to reveal to finish it off here. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is already sitting at level 4, so it's a level 2, level 1 hero going up against a level 4 Death Knight and a level 3 Blade Master, as the Orc Burrows are still getting taken down and more damage is getting added up here. A new Tree of Life could be placed down here, which would add insult to injury, as this is already a well-protected expansion for the Night Elf, as you are looking looking at peons trying to escape, and it looks as though a handful of peons are able to do so. Coming back off to the north, though, Stronghold going to end up getting taken down. Headhunter's going to be able to finish this off, and it is going to be a 2-base play against 1 as FJRock loses his main base. All is not lost yet, as the Ancient Protectors are still fending off against all of this here. Is the hero level advantage going to be enough? Blade Master, Shadowhunter here. We can see that there is also Sentinels in play to keep track of that Blade Master. If that was done earlier, that would have been a much better play, as the Blade Master was able to survive an onslaught of damage just by walking away at the very last moment. Ancient Protector, what should be happening here is a new Tree of Life should be placed down to try and get an expansion going. Meanwhile, CaSpeND with level 2 Blade Master nearly level 3, level 1 Shadowhunter nearly level 2, maybe enough. And yeah, it looks as though CaSpeND's strategy is to in fact use the hero level advantage that they were able to gather to try and push it over the top. Level 4 Death Knight, level 1 Lich, coupled with burst damage on a Blade Master, perhaps even Hex on a Shadowhunter to try and finish things off here. Ancient Protectors finishing off this last war mill, the last remaining building of Orc, as we see a new Voodoo Lounge being placed down for healing salves, for healing onto those heroes, as that is still an effective heal opportunity. Coming back around, Berserkers are in fact trained in from the Orc side. So after that duel, Rax quick tech to tier 3 in order to get access to that Berserker upgrade. And now it is an army of Berserkers as the Ancient Protectors make their way over. It looks as though a Tree of Life will end up being placed down here momentarily. Triple Ancient or Quad Ancient Protectors trying to do a little bit of a play, as the Blade Master and the Shadowhunter are still doing a little bit of action here. All right, Tauren Chieftain may catch the units off guard. There's a quick Hex onto a suspecting Grunt or a Headhunter. Headhunter trying to get away. Doesn't look like it will be able to do all that much except for try and buy a bit of time away from all of the action. There you are, a lizard dropping its tail, so to speak, to try and get away from all of those problematic situations. All right, a nuke straight up onto the Urbosa Warrior. Straight up level 8 unit going to try and get taken down as quickly as possible. No Orb of Corruption yet on that Lich, so that is a big reason why the Undead doesn't have the necessary damage, as we are looking at perhaps Dark Rituals for that Lich as well, in order to maximize all of its, nuking potential. All right, trying to get maximum mana, seeing that level 3 here. Are we going to see capture the Keeper of the Grove? And here we are straight up in a battle here. Get some damage onto that Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove already in a little bit of problem, as the Keeper of the Grove uses a Potion of Healing to try and survive. All right, more damage here. Death Coil split second late, and all of the units need to try and retreat as CaSpeND walks pretty much into a 2-on-1 fight. Not a good situation whatsoever. Shadowhunter now looking to retreat back here. Blade Master was hoping to perhaps try and pick off some units. Is he going to try and windwalk? He is not. He did windwalk, but is he going to be able to make his way back out, as a Sentinel Scout does pop up in the air? Blade Master does not have Boots of Speed, but level 2 windwalk is fast enough to outrun the rest of that army there. Off to the north, we do see a Tree of Life trying to be established. That Tree of Life cannot get established if CaSpeND wants any chance of being able to get back into this game. Orb of Corruption is available, and the Tree of Life needs to get taken down first. Otherwise, we are going to be looking at a Scroll of Town Portal inbound and a 2-on-1 fighting here. Hence the reason why they're trying to take down that Tree of Life there. Level 5 now on the Death Knight. Death Knight with some big burst damage. Now level 3 Death Coil, level 2 Frost Nova, coupled with Orb of Corruption and Crypt Fiend focus damage. That's exactly the style of play that is expected. And remember, the Blade Master will also benefit from that Orb of Corruption and armor debuff. All right, what is this? FJRock being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to head out of this position quickly. There it goes. Going to go ahead and teleport back out and now go into a slight engagement here. All right, fighting on Blight. The units are all in a dangerous, difficult scenario. Shadowhunter wants to get up to level 3. Can't do that just quite yet. And now Book of the Dead being used there. There's a Stomp. Are we going to see a Healing Wave? Yes, Healing Wave now straight up on the Blade Master. Blade Master has a Potion of Healing. Level 3 now on the Shadowhunter, as we're looking at more engagement, as we see a Dreadlord now out. Are we going to see a Wisp? Potion of Invulnerability down to 15 seconds at the last possible moment. Obsidian Statue needs to get in a lot of heals as well. That's only a 7 second, as there's the Healing Wave, as the units are now trying to retreat back out as well. All right, tactical retreat is in order. Level 5, level 3, level 1 on the undead heroes. Meanwhile, level 3 on the Shadow Hunter, level 3 on the Blade Master, and they may try and push forward to try and stop this Tree of Life from being established. Once again, if that Tree of Life does get online, the problem is definitely going to be an inbound Scroll of Town portal to try and, well, to try and defend that location with the additional help of the Ancient Protectors. That would be an uphill battle indeed. But instead, going after the Urbrosa Warrior, Death Knight now trying to get some distance. I believe it actually got a little bit too close, though, as we are still looking at the Dreadlord sitting at level 1 after all this time. All right, Death Knight took it, or perhaps there were just additional heroes as well, and the Death Knight is just bringing the party over here to the battle as the Death Knight purposely keeps his distance away. Items gonna go down, Tome of Intelligence straight up for that Shadow Hunter to try and get in some additional heals across multiple units as well. Down to the south, Tauren Chieftain walking around, level 3 Tauren Chieftain, level 2 Shadow Hunter, working together with these, shaman and headhunters or berserkers. We may be looking at some bloodlusted berserkers with very fast attack speed. All right, blue is just wasting so much time. Yeah, blue is hoping and hoping that they're able to leverage this expansion off to the north to be able to get an economic advantage, knowing that the hero level advantage of the undead is just so large. What they don't know is that hero level advantage is just continuing to grow as vampiric aura for the Dreadlord, not sleep. The hero level advantage is just continuing to grow as the red team is able to continue to creep out difficult creep camps. By continuing to creep out all of these difficult creep camps, they're getting some powerful consumable items, devotion aura, that divine potion that heals 500 hit points and 200 mana. All of those things start to add up tremendously as we're going to be looking at the Voodoo Lounge, perhaps going to get taken down here. All right, Death Knight does have that potion of restoration, and here we are. I'm going to be going into an engagement here in just a moment. What is going down? There's a Carrion Swarm ripping on through, and now the units are looking to back up and perhaps get into a proper position here. All right, where is the rest of the Blade Master? Blade Master ghouls now trying to make their way over. Devour Magic coming online to try to eat up some of that Bloodlust as we are looking at that Bloodlust trying to close in a bit on that distance. Here we are. There's a Roar. There's a Death Coil for the save, and in comes a bit of damage. Abomination does have Disease Cloud, and that's going to spread out pretty largely across multiple units here. Death Coil, Stomp, a Carrion Swarm ripping on through. Tauren Chieftain has a Potion of Healing, and he's able to stay alive. Potion of Invulnerability being used as well. There's a Dust of Appearance as the Blade Master is currently in a little bit of trouble. All right, Hero Panda gets taken down pretty quickly. Tauren Chieftain still trying to make its way back out. Abomination could have a bit of trouble as he's down to 116 hit points. He gets healed back up at the last possible second as well. Obsidian Statues trying to retreat their way, but the Bloodlusted Berserkers Frenzied Berserkers able to make their way over as well, trying to close in a bit on that distance. A little bit more Devour Magic as the Destroyer gets into the air and able to survive. Blade Master continuing this fight as well, taking down Huntresses who get a little bit too gung-ho into that front action as the Abominations are coming across. Keeper of the Grove gets taken down as well, so both Night Elf heroes are gone. Tauren Chieftain now trying to chase after all of those units. Abomination down to 290 hit points. Death Knight does have a Death Coil for that Abomination, and it will end up surviving a little while longer. One thing to note, if you feel that those Death Coils are doing a little bit less healing and damage, you are right. It is level 3 Unholy Aura over level 3 Death Coil so far. So I was wondering how come the heals on the Abominations looked a little bit smaller than they should have been. And, well, level 5 Death Knight has level 3 Unholy Aura for faster movement speed. All right, that faster movement speed, perhaps one of the reasons why an undead orc were able to do the hit and run tactics, as they were able to outmaneuver the generally faster Tauren Chieftain's movement aura here. All right, Voodoo Lounge going to get taken down off to the north here. This gold mine is going to end up coming to an end as there is only about 90 or 100 seconds left of mining in your main bases. The question is going to be, there's that Scroll of Town portal that I had questioned earlier. Inbound army coming in. This is just the Night Elf army, and now in comes the Orc army as well. The Orc army significantly larger, as you can see all these 2-0 upgraded Berserkers trying to go in for an engagement, trying to engage against any unit that is perhaps caught out of position, as the Blade Master could be in a little bit of trouble. Breath of Fire across the Panda here as it's trying to push on through. Wet is going down. Shadowhunter falls at level 3, and this is just a hero nuking battle over and over. 400 hit point here. Devour Magic, another heal coming back across. There's another Carrion Swarm trying to slowly chip away at that Berserker army, as the Torrent Chieftain now could be in a little bit of trouble as well. All right, Red Shadowhunter could be in trouble. Red Shadowhunter gets taken down, and there's no way to resurrect that. That is a permanent loss of a hero, as the units are now trying to push back the other way. Blade Master, however, has his eyes sight on the Torrent Chieftain. Torrent Chieftain gets taken down, and now level 3 Torrent Chieftain is out of the battle. So far, there's only now left a Keeper of the Grove continuing to fight their way through. Level 3 Dreadlord. Are we going to see a Carrion Swarm? Blade Master able to survive at 71 hit points as the spears were about to damage them in the back. The Blade Master able to survive once more, and now perhaps needs to make best friends with an Obsidian statue to get healed back up. All right, it looks as though the Keeper of the Grove did fall as well, and hero nuking is the name of the game, as CaSpeND and FJRock look to be doing all right for them so far. All right, massive focus fire on to the Crypt Fiend there. FJRock asking for a little bit of money, but what can he do with any of that money? He doesn't. I guess he can try and does he have an Orc burrow somewhere? He must have an Orc burrow somewhere, and asking his partner for money when his own haunted gold mine is now completely gone. Well, perhaps trying to resurrect that Shadowhunter back at home. All right, last of Ancient Protector about to get taken down. This Obsidian statue low on hit points, and well, gonna go ahead and get absorbed and then get a Death Coil to take to the skies as well. Last Wisp finished off there. Torrent Chieftain now back in action. We are looking at Tree of Eternity, trying to get Nature's Blessing online to perhaps set up an additional expansion somewhere else. Long distance mining is in order, as the Blade Master now going after one of the few remaining green creep camps on the map, picking up a Cloak of Shadows, and will more importantly get to level 5 here. Level 5 with level 2 or level 3 critical strike, level 2 windwalk, should be able to maneuver around the map fairly quickly and easily. Haunting a new gold mine is going to be top priority indeed. As you can see, blue has no additional strategy or plan to take up an expansion. Long distance mining, not the way to go, as they take that walk of shame back home. Well, yeah, no, Dustwallow Dweller, that's one of those strange situations where even if you trade efficiently in that last fight, the fact that there were no heroes on the, or very few heroes out on the battlefield, unless you could guarantee the Keeper of the Grove was going to stay alive, the Undead army and the Orc army would just continue to level up more and more. I believe all of the other heroes were out of play, and if your heroes, even if you are getting kills on your opponent's army, if they're able to gain experience and you're not, that is just another resource that you don't have access to, and it feels like it's going to end up getting further and further behind. All right, is there a peon somewhere? Yep, there is peon somewhere here. All right, so peon's going to try and perhaps maneuver around as well. As we're looking at the Death Knight and the Dreadlord continuing to push their way through. All right, Peon's going to get finished off here, and in comes a big fight. Couple of quick dead Peons as we look at Devour Magic in order to get that Dreadlord away. Carrion Swarm once again ripping through across many of those central lined units again, and this may just turn into a hit and run tactic over and over and over again. Economically speaking, blue should have been in a much better spot, but the hero level advantage of red cannot be denied. Is this going to be what it comes down to, as the Lich is just outside or still a bit away from level 5? Once level 5 reaches on that Lich and level 6 on that Death Knight, since the Death Knight got Death Coil or Unholy Aura first, then, well, that hero nuking potential just simply goes through the roof. All right, in comes a couple of Ancient of Wars, but, well, with Ancient of Wars, with their magic, with their, magic sensitive armor, that heavy armor taking bonus damage from the destroyers, they could easily get taken down in a moment's notice, just bursted down right there. All right, a little bit more Devour Magic coming back across to try and regenerate some of those hit points as the Panda tries to lead the charge, only to realize, wait a second, if I'm in the front line, I take damage as well. Bloodlust is still available for that Panda right there. There's removing of that Bloodlust, and now that Panda could have a quick trip back home with the Staff of Preservation. Tauren Chieftain comes in with the stomp, but the Brewmaster still gets taken down there. Not quite sure how that happened. I thought the Staff of Preservation was in time, but the Death Knight could be in trouble. Death Knight quickly removes the Hex and trying to get away down to 14 hit points, down to 9 hit points, and is able to escape. All right, at level 4 now on that Tauren Chieftain, the level 2 Endurance Aura, the Endurance Aura difference, making all the difference right there as the Death Knight escapes with single digits and now trying to retreat back desperately. Keeper of the Grove falls at level 3. Meanwhile, we're still looking at a little bit of gold now being harvested or mined by CaSpeND. We are looking at a Tree of Eternity coming across here to try and untangle this gold mine, as it looks as though blue is able to come back online here. Blademaster, however, in a little bit of trouble, going to try and use Windwalk and, well, Healing Salve in order to get away and recharge and live and fight another day. I don't know what the Huzz were about, but yeah, this is so far a crazy matchup all the way across the board. We are looking at the Crypt Fiends now making their way down. Destroyers coming back across here as well. Where are all of these units going to perhaps try and engage off to next, as they do not want to allow the mining here. Fighting at the gold mine is absolutely key. Ancient of War could easily get this destroyed. Meanwhile, some more Devour Magic as well. Abomination spreading apart all of that disease cloud. Clarion Swarm ripping through many of the Berserkers, but no follow-up to really add up that damage. All right, Abomination could end up getting taken down. The Berserkers trying to finish things off, as the Abominations really wish there was level 3 Death Coil, I'm sure, at this point and stage in the game. Unholy Aura still trying to back away. The passive regeneration not really making that big of a difference for all of these units here, as the Abomination is still trying to retreat back. Destroyer still trying to absorb a little bit of damage, coming back around the other side again. All right. Unholy Aura at level 3 moving across the disease cloud. No, that is just Bloodlust and Unholy Aura, but the destroyers are just constantly able to devour all of that delicious magic. Look at the destroyers with nearly maximum mana, and even though they're sitting outside of the battle right now. Obsidian Statue, however, low on mana himself, and with a low hit point Obsidian Statue, this push is not going to find its real footing, and what you need to train additional Obsidian Statues for it to work in order to keep this Blademaster alive. He does have potions of healing and a potion of invulnerability, but that is it at this point, as the Frost Armor not going to be able to do as much. All right, in comes the Frenzied Frenzied Bloodlusted Berserkers, as the units are now trying to retreat back once again. There's a little bit more Devour Magic. And can you just attack over the trees at this point in stage in the game, as we're trying to get into more Devour Magic again? All right, there's a little bit more Devour Magic, and you can see the Destroyer regenerating a good amount of hit points again, and now looking to perhaps try and put pressure onto that Tree of Eternity. The Berserkers with that Frenzy, with that Bloodlust, but all the Shamans are eventually going to be running out of mana as well, and then those Berserkers are not going to be attacking nearly as quickly. All right, more Devour Magic coming on through, trying to get in a little bit of damage. More Devour Magic again, down to 227 hit points, as the Death Knight forced to use a Death Coil there. All right, more Devour Magic, and this is just chip mana on all of these Shamans. The Shamans now pretty much out of mana, not going to be able to do the necessary Bloodlust, as we could get level 6 now on the Death Knight. That is exactly what, well, he wanted, and he also did not want level 3 Death Coil. He wanted Animate Dead as his ultimate ability, and that really scratches my head just a bit, as the Death Knight doesn't have that much mana to freely use. Yes, I know Animate Dead, the ultimate ability, went from 150 to 125, but having an additional 400 hit points is may actually be better. Devour Magic may be necessary. And there are we going to see the Death Coil? Yeah, saving that Crypt Fiend once more, retreating back. Orb of Venom causing a little bit of damage over time. There's going to be another Entangle. There's going to be another another Devour magic as the units are retreating back up once again. I've said this before, usually Animate Dead is in a scenario where it enables you to win more. It is not one of those decision-making situations where it allows you to come from behind. And oftentimes in a battle, if you have 1,200 hit points more on a hero, that is enough to get you to win, as opposed to waiting for a whole bunch of corpses to show up on the ground and then animate them. All right, coming back down here, we are looking at an Ancient Protector putting pressure onto these ziggurats here. They're not really doing that much damage. You can see there are 3 acolytes mining off on this location, and that is going to be a very, very big deal. Blade Master, while being told to try to scout out additional gold mines, and quickly sees that there is a pocket hall being placed down here at the 4 o'clock location. All right, are we perhaps going to be looking at some repairs? Ancient Protector easily going to get finished off here. Dreadlord sitting at level 4 will stay there, as the Blade Master could take down a couple of peons pretty quickly here. There goes one peon. Another peon could get taken down. One more shot in the back. It gets taken down as well, as the Blade Master, well, enjoying this time to just take down multiple units. 232 critical strike, taking down unit after unit, and now going to go ahead and use Windwalk in order to get away. Dust of Appearance beautifully done. The Blade Master knew that there was Dust of Appearance on the opposing unit, and then on opposing heroes, and purposely backed up to try and avoid it. And by backing up to avoid it, the Dust of Appearance was not applied, allowing the Blade Master to dodge and escape for just a little bit. There's still 1 charge of Dust of Appearance, and that could potentially be a problem as the Blade Master tries to retreat back out. Now, what's happening instead, Death Knight now wandering around to the other side, saying, you know what? Night Elf buildings, I hear, give a good amount of experience, and if I take down your Moonwells, you also lose quite a bit of your healing as well. Death Knight wanders around on the inside to see if there's any easy wisp to take out. No wisp to spot here, as we're looking at more and more of these Moonwells getting taken down here, as they do represent hit points for the blue army. All right. Acolytes still mining away here. Blade Master down to the south says, surprise, I never really left you. And, stalking Blade Master, able to continue to haunt and cause problems here. Meanwhile, coming back on the other side here, cleaning up the remainder of this base, this Moonwell could easily get taken down. There is a little bit of damage, as you see a bit of healing coming across the other way. We're looking at the Tauren Chieftain trying to charge on in here, and the Death Knight purposely backing up into a corner and saying, you know what, if you want to engage me here, you're going to have to perhaps try to get into proper position. There's the Scroll of Town Portal to try and back up there. There's some more carry-on swarms as the Headhunters do burst their way through. But this is going to give time for the Blade Master to put in pressure on the other side, since they had to actually go that deep. No peons down over here, as another haunted gold mine now coming online for the red team. Happy New Year's. Thank you. 恭喜發財，身體健康。新年快樂。Yes. All right, coming back around. Berserkers now trying to put pressure across here. You can see these bloodlusted, frenzied Berserkers with a fast attack speed. How quickly they're attacking and taking down all of these Nerubian towers here. And eventually, CaSpeND will end up losing this off to the north. But it is going to be a base-for-base trade, as the Blade Master once again shuts down the expansion. And now putting more pressure here. Off to the north here, there is no mining going on. So it is 0 bases to 0 bases at this point, as CaSpeND may end up losing this haunted gold mine as well. All right, Death Knight still continuing all the pressure here, and once more he does have Animate Dead, but it has not been used whatsoever. One of those very situational abilities, while I normally think, Animate Dead is perhaps a level 7 ability instead of a level 6 ability, because of how situational it is. That Unholy Aura movement speed making a big difference. Additional heals would have made a drastic big difference as well. Tree of Eternity now, completely supply blocked, as all the Moonwells back at home were taken down. There it goes, level 5 now on the Lich, as we are looking at a quick engagement backwards. Death Knight now trying to retreat back. Hero level advantage gonna be the only difference here now, as we could be looking at more mining by the Orc player down to the south. All right. what is going to be going down here. Shadowhunter and Blade Master actually separated from the other side here. We're going to be looking at an interesting predicament as the Keeper of the Grove able to stay alive, the Shadowhunter able to get in a bit of heal as we're looking at more burst damage as well. Blade Master try to burst down onto the Keeper of the Grove, unable to do exactly that. Look at all of these extra large characters as they are all bloodlusted. Shadowhunter still trying to retreat back there. There's a healing wave. Shadowhunter could be in a bit of bad news. He is now in trouble. Drunken Haze, is he going to be able to survive here? Or is he going to pick up a potion of healing or something? No real gold as the units are now trying to retreat back. All right, Obsidian Statue, Tomb of Relics finally taken down, and now we're trying to put in pressure inside the main base here. All right, how many buildings are really left as the Mountain Giants are now grabbing some buildings here, taking down this last Great Hall? No, not going to even bother taking it down. Going to go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal to try and get in on this fight and on this engagement as Book of the Dead was finally used. All right, engagement off to the north. Torrent Chieftain throws down a big stomp, stunning down many of the abominations. But here's that Animate. Is that Animate dead? Yeah, Animate dead off of the graveyard as a base defense as we are looking at the crypt. Able to generate a couple of skeletons. They are level 6 now on the Blade Master coming online. So one thing to note, yeah, the graveyard back at home does generate skeletons for you. And I guess they were all ghouls as the Blade Master now continuing to engage here. Does the Blade Master have Blade Storm? That is the question here. There's a quick entangle as the Blade Master could really just dive on in here, Blade Storm many of these Berserkers. If they are frenzied, they would take so much damage as the Dreadlord could be in trouble. Dreadlord now down to 130 hit points. There's the Blade Storm coming online. There's the Death Coil for the save. I bet he would want an additional 200 hit points right now as the Blade Master finishes off so many of those low hit point units. No, so many low hit point units nearly dead as the Blade Master now down to dead as well. Blade Master falls at level 6 after the ultimate ability. Shadowhunter falls at level 4 as well, as now it is only a level 4 Shadowhunter for red. Coming back around, Dreadlord still continuing to fight here, and that is the game. All right. Red team comes out victorious after all of that. Down to the wire, fighting back and forth. But in the end, Undead able to hold it together. CaSpeND able to carry the team, and now unsummoning a couple of buildings just for fun, I guess, as we're looking at CaSpeND carrying his team to victory and FJRock having a good number of holds, being able to fend off attacks. Red wins. Great game. I hope you guys enjoyed that crazy 2v2 matchup. Let me know. Premature after Blade Master death. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think losing the Blade Master was a big deal, but also losing the level 4 Shadowhunter off on the blue side. With no more Shadowhunter, they realized that there's pretty much no more longevity or staying power in that fight any longer. FJRock still had his Shadowhunter, and with that, coupled with the Obsidian Statue, could have perhaps outlasted the opponent there. Also, it is still controversial. I don't think it was quite known who was going to win, but the hero level advantages were just far too large to overcome, especially with as the game rolled on and mana becomes more of an issue. As long as the Death Knight and the Lich were alive, the Death Knight and the Lich would generally outlast and outkill any of the heroes, especially against the lower level heroes and the intelligence hero, the Keeper of the Grove. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.